As Adobe says, sales in the first 24 hours were actually up 10% year on year, contra those early headlines that you might have seen. Our next guest says more of those sales are of Amazon's own merchandise because of tariffs. Brett Rose is the CEO of United Nation Consumer Suppliers. Brett, welcome. Your clients include a lot of third-party sellers on Amazon. Are they feeling squeezed out a little bit here?
Yeah, thanks for having me back, Kelly. I think it's a balance of both. They're feeling squeezed out, but it's a little bit of relief of pressure, right? As long as Amazon is selling their products, we're talking about a 4-day event here. So the world gets back to normal on day 5. So they're saving their inventory levels. Generally you're seeing 60% of purchases done by third-party resellers. This time you're seeing a flip-flop. Everybody we talk to and all the data we analyze is showing Amazon is selling more this year than the third-party resellers.
But presumably Amazon's still making this stuff in the same countries. I don't understand how they're able to disintermediate people.
Yeah, you're talking about $1 trillion juggernaut in one form or another. So Amazon can take a much bigger hit. They can ride it out a little bit while longer. They can work on much smaller margins because Amazon's bulk of their cash doesn't specifically come from sales, right? You've got a movie studio, you've got Amazon Web Services. So they can hedge it, they can offset the price, and they can take a bigger hit than sort of, a Joe mom and pop who has a small third-party reseller store.
This sounds like a naive question, but do you really think they would do that? I mean, on some level, if they are, keeping prices lower because they can absorb the margin hit, but their third-party sellers can't, I don't know if that's great for their platform in the long run to kind of annoy the very people whose volume that they're going to need.
Listen, there's no denying that a lot of Amazon's revenue comes from third-party resellers, but you're talking about, they're looking at the company as a whole. They're not looking at one stream. So I don't think there's anything deceitful. They're not saying we'll sell it so our third-party reseller can't. The end of the day, when you're looking at 23, 24, 25 billion over a few-day period, who do they have to keep happiest? That's the consumer, right? That's their number one goal, is to make sure she finds what she wants, he finds the deal he needs, and he comes back. This is inflationary hedging at its best. Consumers are overbuying, they're panic buying, and Amazon, I don't want to say is playing into that, but yesterday's announcement of a tariff extension was the greatest thing to ever happen to Prime Day because it's further consumer confusion. Right? I spoke to somebody at NRF this morning, and they said the U.S. consumer almost feels hoodwinked. They can't quite understand. Are they being, deceived? Are they not? Mm-hmm. What is it supposed to look like when the tariffs are done? And when is this tariff confusion even going to be done? So what do? They overbuy, they panic buy, gives them a release of dopamine, and everybody's happy if just for a brief second.